Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moogle Around episode 207. I think we're 207.
Yeah, so I got the title right as well. Oh, we're going free for free here.
Well, there's Paul. Paul, hi, Paul.
Hello.
How are you today?
If Batman, think of when Batman got beaten up by Bane. Yeah, that's how I feel.
You just tell Bane. You just ask if Bane has called Martha to try and sort things out.
You thought the darkness was your ally. I was more than it. I didn't see the light when I was already a man. I love Tom Hardy. Best actor.
But joining us from the Eorzean Museum network are two wonderful content creators. They talk a lot about fishing, and there's going to be a lot of fishing discussed during this episode of the podcast. In fact, one would say that that's the entire main topic of this podcast, is the fact that there's a lot of fish to be talked about. So, and there's a huge event coming up soon. So I wanted to make sure that we had them on because we're excited for Fishfest. We have the wonderful Fruitysnacks.
Hello. I'm here to talk about
How
fish.
are you? Yeah. I know you like talking a little bit about that. You've dabbled in the talk of fish, I've heard.
I
dabbled
do,
a little bit.
I am known to occasionally just have a little bit of a chit chat about fishing.
One would say you splashed in the topic.
I just really try to hook people on it.
Well, you've reeled us in. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely jumping off the boat.
Don't flounder around.
And we've also got Kyrie Overdrive, who I don't know if they stream fishing, but I know they do stream occasionally.
I do stream fishing.
Ooh.
It's just that it's sometimes very hard to stream fishing because you get people asking what you're doing and you end up explaining it and then you miss catching the fish. So because it's a little bit obscure in terms of 14 content.
I still our best stream was me going crazy doing fishing.
Oh, I like to hear that.
We always love to hear that.
It was the Saint of the Firmament title. I decided that I wanted to get it from fishing. So I streamed the entire time I did it. So it was a 24-hour plus stream of me just sat there fishing for 24 hours.
Oh, we're familiar with that.
It's come up with cosmic exploration coming up. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be like the firmament again. I'm like, I hope there isn't rankings because
that's how me and Fruity met initially, actually, because we were both in Crystal's diadem, and then all the fishes just kind of knew each other, and then afterwards we just kind of started talking.
Yeah.
And then,
I wasn't planning to get the title. I didn't care about the title that much. Or I'm not that competitive as a person. Anyone who knows me, it's not why I aim. I don't aim to be the best. I aim to be decent enough. So but as I've said before, I got out of spite because someone started shouting out, "I'm going for the title for the third time because I want to have less people to have the title."
I see on the third ranking, I just did enough to make the guide and then stopped because I did the first one. And
sorry, they said that on the second one that they were going to do it on another one.
I did the first one on Marlboro back when nobody knew how easy it would be to get points on Fisher, and started doing it, and I was like, yeah, this is fun. And then I realized after the first day, I was rank 2. I'm like, okay, let's keep going. And by the third day, I was arms, head, shoulders, fins, and bodies ahead of everybody else. And ended up in first place on Marlboro. And then I was like, I'm never going to do that again because that sucked. It's 10 days of 16-hour days doing this. And second ranking, I did it. I still did it again. And I just ended up stopping after, I think, 7 out of the 10 days and ended on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points or something like that. And I genuinely do not want the rankings to come back.
I do not want the rankings to come back.
I do. I want to see the carnage. I just want to sit there with my popcorn and watch Shout Chat.
I'll be honest. If I'm not in the rankings, absolutely would be with you on that.
I would just sit there, but I didn't do it last
Just do what I
time.
want.
I sat here and watched Chili do it, and I was like, yep. This is what pure
Great
entertainment's
spectator
about.
sport.
Yep. I am excited for the cosmic exploration because I do love fishing. I love fishing in all my games. I fished in WoW. I fished in Elder Scrolls Online, which chat fucking hates me for because I would see like a thing where I could fish and I'd sit there for a couple of minutes doing that while I should be doing quests.
You just described how I play all my games.
Yeah, I get very sidetracked.
Wait, it's not. Wait, it's not even record. The audio's not recording.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
And on my end, woo! What's good? What's good, stream?
You can just grab the VOD? Question mark?
I'm gonna have to grab the VOD. Yeah. Damn it.
Start recording now,
Ugh.
so you at least have, something.
Yeah, and it Windows changed my desktop audio device. So
Sounds like Windows thing to do.
okay. Please, someone talk.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, now it is. Now it's working. Ah, that sucks. But I'm probably just gonna grab it from. That sucks though. Still.
No, but if you grab it from here, like you're gonna hear me like singing like the Pokemon tune when you were talking about catchable. I was just sitting here like singing to myself. Discord couldn't catch it, but unfortunately Twitch.
I'm gonna grab it from this. Oh well. Enjoy the extra content, I guess. I was looking up. I looked on the second screen because I was too busy looking up the the scores for the Saint.
Firmament. Yeah.
I was 10th with 1 million points.
Yeah, by the end of it, I think the first ranking you could sneak by with under 1 million points. Second and third ranking, if you didn't have 1 million points, you weren't even in like the top 10.
Yeah, it was
on fishing. It
number
was
one
genuinely
was 1.7 million on Gilgamesh.
Yeah, it was genuinely brutal.
Now, I have a question for everyone here. Though, not say the firmament, though we're getting this, cosmic exploration,
which we should find out about tomorrow. Right?
Hopefully, yeah.
I think.
Good.
Do you think
a little bit, maybe?
Do you think it's a little bit too bloody late? Because a lot of people already have. If it's a way to level up your crafting and gatherers, but also do other like side stuff and get how Diadem was a little bit, hopefully, or some sort of currency to get while doing that. That it's a little bit too late because a lot of people have already got their gatherers and crafters already max level.
No, there are a lot of people who do not have their crafters and gatherers max leveled.
I mean,
like
I'm one of them. So
yeah,
but
I think
a lot
like
of my friends have.
If you look at like the Diadem now, it's still the recommended way of leveling. I believe crafter after level 30.
Yeah, it's so you get there at like level 20, 30, and then you stay there until about level 80, and then you go on to collectibles or go back to leaves.
I think you do.
Well, not just that, but you also have the side quests you can do, and also the I can never remember the name of them, but the weekly quests you can do.
Oh, the custom deliveries.
Custom deliveries.
I don't mind this week.
Which, by the way, their rewards apparently I've watched like Meoni videos and that apparently are really fucking good. Apparently these
they are.
So
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot. This isn't a plus 18 thing, so I do swear quite a lot. And Paul's more tired, so Paul will probably swear a lot more. Hopefully you two are fine with that. If not, please tell me now.
I've got no problems with that.
Oh, thank God. Thank Hardland.
No, we have the live letters
in
like
11 in 12
at
hours.
this point. Yeah, about 12 hours at this point.
11 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah, 12 hours from recording. I don't know if we'll get a ton of information on cosmic exploration tomorrow, but we do know that it will most likely be in 7.2.
We're not going to get a ton of information tomorrow at all anyway, are we, really? If you think about it.
It'll be...
I know a lot of people are super excited, but you got to remember this is part 1.
Story.
So we'll get a load of information, but the information will just be announcements of the information that will be fully fleshed out in part 2.
Yeah, I think we'll probably get like a little bit of an idea of what it is, but I don't think we'll get too deep into it.
That's what I mean. We'll see pictures, we'll see some like screenshots of like details, but there'll be no in-depth information tomorrow until part 2, which will probably
In
be what?
mid-March,
Um,
early March.
no,
Early March,
27th.
something like that.
No, part 2 will be the 27th of February because the patch drops 2 weeks after the second live letter normally. So February the 6th is now, so give it a couple of weeks. February 27th, 28th will probably be live letter part 2. And then that would then mean that patch will drop on the 11th or the 18th.
I wonder if they'll actually unlock Savage finally.
I think that's the expectation.
They should have unlocked it.
Because we still, if we're gonna get Mog Tomes, they still need a patch for that. So my guess is that there'll be a patch 7.18?
7? 8?
I forget which one we're on.
Yeah.
Maybe 7.1 something.
Yeah.
And that'll probably unlock Savage. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if they don't unlock Savage before the end.
I mean, it's taken
should have unlocked in
so
December.
long. I still have to
It
get
should have unlocked in
taxis
December.
and stuff for like my raid teams. I'm sitting there going, I can't be asked. Just unlock it already. But fishing. So please tell me, because I live under a rock when it comes to stuff. I do like keep my eyes and ears out. But this Eorzean Museum and Fishfest, I have no clue about Fishfest. So please, can I get some information?
Yes. So Fishfest is the Eorzean Aquariums, plural, and Eorzean Museum Network's yearly, we call it Fishtival of Fishing. Fishtival of Fishing, that's it. And basically what it is we just host a bunch of fishing-related events for some long amount of time. So I don't want to say like, oh, for a day or for 2 days, because every year it's been different. First year we did it, it was a 2-day event on North America. Last year it was a 1-day event, but we did it on North America and Europe. And then this year we're doing it for like, I think it's like 17, 18 hours continuous.
18 hours, something like that. Yeah,
18 hours if you add in the yard party too. And it'll go on for that whole time for like the whole day on Materia. And who knows what will happen next year. But so Fishfest is basically a chance for anyone who is interested in fishing or is a diehard fisher to just kind of come and fish with other fishing people. I also like to call it a little bit of a stress test on the servers because we can move a lot of people and have them stand in one single area for a while. Last year I think last year we had about 250 people in a zone at one point.
Last year we had instancing problems in Invoker areas, so
yeah, we did.
It was great.
I think we actually filled an instance, if I remember correctly.
We did. The problem was that so last year I was actually I was a bait person for the fish train, and half of us couldn't go into some of the Endwalker areas because of the instancing, and we're just here like, yeah, so you're gonna have to like go back to where you were because we're at the Aetherite Plaza and we can't leave.
Yeah, so it's a fun time. We have a bunch of stuff for people who are in game. You know, we have what we call fish trains, which are similar to hunt trains, where in the sense of as a group you move around to different big fishing windows, and then just as a group you fish it together because fishing is fun with friends. And we have 2 fish trains, one for those who are newer, call that our Sprout train, and then we have our main train, which is for those who are level 100 or really know what they're doing, or really just want to go everywhere. And so we'll have that in game. Kyrie is handling ocean fishing, so we'll have 6 different ocean fishing boats that you'll be able to join up on and fish with. And Kyrie, you can explain that a bit more. But then we also have offline stuff too. So we'll have my now notorious fishing hole scavenger hunt, where I go around and take pictures of fishing holes, and I have 3 tiers of difficulty: normal, savage, and ultimate, where normal is basically free trial. Basic picture. Here's a picture of a fishing hole. It's a free trial. Which one is it? Savage is a little bit harder, but all the expansions. And then ultimate is here's a picture of some dirt that's super zoomed in. Please name the fishing hole. And a lot of people that seem to have a ton of fun with that one because it's basically like really, really difficult GeoGuessr, but for fishing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really funny because I believe some of the themes for this year's Ultimate involve Fruity taking dad-style selfies with G-pose in the areas, and it's really funny because it's like 3/4 of it is Fruity's face, and then there's like 1/4 of a sky and an architectural feature, and it goes to show how deep that we are into this. That I'm just like, I recognize that, and I could probably narrow it down to a specific area.
There's been a couple of times when I will look at a fish, I will take a picture and go, I think this is too easy. And it's literally like a picture of a rock. And I'll go like, no, that's way too easy. And I'll send it to somebody and be like, hey, can you find this? And they'll be like, I don't even have to look for that. Okay. It's a picture of dirt. It is like a zoomed in picture of dirt. Most people would look at that and go, I don't know where that is. But in this case, if you're
a professional
way
fishing
into it,
player, then like, wait a minute, I know that exact coordinate. That exact
because they usually will have spent time there.
I've fished there before.
So that's one of the that's kind of the big thing with the ultimate is how evil can I get? And this year it's going to be the dad selfies that are like, they're not even good dad selfies, they're bad dad selfies. So like I think one of them is going to literally have a picture of like my character's armpit blocking most of the screen. And then you have to figure out which fishing hole it is.
I'd say be careful, people might be into that. A lot of people are into these armpit things. I don't know why.
I was going to say,
that, and
just make sure that one of the pictures aren't just your feet, because people aren't going to be paying attention to the whole.
I mean, that feet update though that Square Enix did. I mean, there's some money in there.
But I think beyond that, we also have coloring pages for those who are, artistically inclined. So if you just want to like color pictures of fish, we can do that. And then this year we also have kind of as our capstone event, we do have Nature's Art Party, which is hosted by Lupus, which is if you know anything about art parties, these are a little bit different. Where same idea, where you come in and you can draw or take pictures or write or just be creative, but you also learn about the lore of the area and all these different things. And I'm not going to go too deep into that because I want to give them the element of surprise.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to be in a Shadowbringers area this year, so
and
notorious for how many fishers have lived in it. So it's going to be interesting, at least.
And it being a Shadowbringers zone narrows it down to all of them. And then something new this year is we're bringing in Fisher's Feud, which if you are not from the U.S., you probably don't know the reference of Family Feud.
No, we have that in England.
Okay, yeah. So it's a very similar concept except with fishing. And so we'll have 2 shows of that. If you would like to participate in that, you are welcome to sign up on.
So how did you get Steve Harvey to do it? Like
Family Fortunes, isn't it? It's Family Fortunes. That's what it's called. It's not.
Is that what it is?
It's
Family Fortunes. Yeah. Used to be on ITV.
But Steve Harvey wasn't available, so we got another guy instead.
Okay.
Who looks like Steve Harvey.
Big Salty.
But Big Salty is an amazing person who has hosted this a few times, and it's a ton of fun. So we will be doing that.
That'll be streamed live. Hopefully, we're in talks to have that go out on Twitch. So
yeah, that should be.
So
I mean, I should say it will. I just don't know where yet, but it will.
The only fish I could probably bring to the table would be the fish people of the Tau from 40k. So you want to
you don't need to bring your own fish. I think the point is you got to catch the fish at Fishfest.
I mean, I can do that as an Imperium. I'm very much at war. I can bring them dead or alive. Which one do you want?
Yes.
Depends on the fish.
Yeah.
Depends on the person.
I mean, they're blue.
So that's roughly Fishfest. Like I was saying last year, we had in North America's fish train, at the peak when both the trains were together, we had roughly, well, it's really hard to tell. We had at least 200 players because that's when we learned that the player search caps out at 200 people per
200,
result.
yes. Yeah.
And we had more than 200.
Unlike Fantasy 11, where you can just search all and see how many players are online by it, there's no actual cap. It just tells you how many people are actually on the server.
Yeah, this one's capped. So we
we
know there's 200. And
yeah,
so
even if you reduced it to just fishers in the area, it was over 200. So we're just like, okay, this did not help in the slightest in narrowing it down.
Doesn't work. But it did. But it's a ton of fun. And if you've never fished before, I think the one thing we do recommend is if you want to participate in the fish trains, specifically the sprout train at minimum, we recommend that you're about level 50 fisher. 60 if you want to hit everything. 60 is ideal, but you could still participate at 50 and get some of the fish.
And you can level up really fast by just doing some ocean fishing between now and then.
You could get 100 in a weekend, really.
Yeah, but if you don't play much at all, literally just do a couple of ocean fishings and you probably
between now and then, yeah.
Like most of the community right now.
So that's did I miss anything, Kyrie?
Yeah, so it's on Materia this year, which means that everyone from NEDC is able to come in and fish with all of us because everyone can just come to Materia. They've kind of unlocked easy travel for that. And so on my end, I've kind of had to work with how do people fish with really high ping? Because I do believe that it is actually the furthest distance from Materia at the minute is being in Europe. So I've had to have people come in and just be like, okay, so what's it like fishing on like 300 ping? And then
it's not that bad, actually.
It's not that bad, but we had to work out, what was possible, what wasn't, and how would that affect getting certain fish. So we just kept that sort of thing in mind so that everyone could participate regardless where you were in the world.
Yeah, and
I once did Savage Kefka at 450 ping. I'm good.
Oh boy. We did, when we were making these fish trains, we did make sure to avoid any fish where high ping would be bad, which surprisingly, there's a few.
There's a few, but these are fish that are normally available quite often, but their hole is very, very short. So you need to get as many casts in a 3-minute window as you can. So we tried to avoid that.
Yeah, some that we get in there, but they're also like simple. You're not gonna be using the you're not gonna be using the new lures. This isn't something that we just throw together and be like, oh, that's up, let's go. Oh, that's up, let's go. That's up next. We'll do that. We actually we probably spend way more time than we need to reviewing the fish train schedule. I think we started it in November? December?
November.
I think we started putting that together, and it took a month and a half to get something that we liked.
Yeah, I don't know if other events have this, but it's a little bit of a logistical nightmare for us because we've got people from 3 different regions having to get bait and be able to herd 200 something people into one place. So we have to think about, we're not going to go to somewhere where the hole is very small space wise because it's just not. Sorry, Matriarch.
We're not doing the Matriarch again.
Yeah.
Matriarch is for those who don't know, Matriarch is in a fishing hole called the Exploratory Ice Hole, and it is basically a 2-foot hole, 2-foot diameter hole in the ice in Corthus, Western Highlands.
Yeah, and it just there is a point in which you cannot put more than a certain amount of people around that hole because there is physically no space. You just cannot cast.
We did it last year. We're not doing it this year.
We're not doing it again. Yeah, and then so we also try and take into account. Is this an area where there's going to be lots of sprouts? Is it on an MSQ path? So it's just taking into consideration things like that because we don't want to be too disruptive because it is a big group of people coming in and just taking over an area. So we try and keep.
I don't know how that would be disruptive, but it's happened to me a few times. I'm like, oh look, that is. So they're having fun.
You would be amazed at how with the hunt train. I think this is like the best examples. Like the hunt train comes in and in a ton of combat, but it's done in like a minute.
Yeah, if that.
Trains come and usually have more people and a lot more particles because everyone has sneak on, and then it's just another like 20-30 minutes before anyone leaves. So you're dealing with this lower, like you could be dealing with a lot of particles, a lot of rendering, and it actually can be a little difficult too, especially if if the fishing hole is right next to an MSQ spot and like there might be an NPC there. Yeah. So those are just things
I guess with the new tech though now, remember that with the new tech, if there's there's people around the NPC, you can turn it on so that only your party members appear.
Yeah, that's added, right? Yeah, that's good. It's just that we're still very mindful of that because not everyone likes that setting particularly. So
or has it on.
Well,
has it on? Yeah,
I don't have to see people.
Said, not everyone has it on.
I can play my single player game to its single player life.
Well, no, it just makes. As a lot of people, I kind of like
having
it.
Jokes.
Yeah, but no, you joke, but as a lot of people, I kind of like the feature because there's so many tool people around the NPC. Sometimes I can't click on them because there's too many tool people.
I think it's easier as a LFL. I just zoom in and I can see the NPC's leg. I'm like,
honestly, I've done that before. I'm not kidding. I've literally sat down in a crowd to be able to find somebody. But
by the way, I got a little bit off topic with talking about disruptive. Have either of you played Fantasy 11?
Briefly.
I have played briefly, and I am going to be playing again at the end of March.
Okay, talking about fishing in 11, because you could get attacked. You could get attacked in 11 while fishing, right?
Yes, on the boat. I've heard.
Yeah. No, anywhere you could get technically attacked while fishing. So, Square Enix's smart idea to try and fight against fishing bots in 11 was that if someone is fishing for too long in a spot, a goblin fisherman will spawn in that area and walk around and then eventually aggro you to stop you from fishing.
Yeah, I have heard this.
I've heard this as well. Yes.
Yeah.
I do believe that one of the holes in 14 is a direct reference to that as well.
Probably.
I think it's probably
because a lot of people did it. I'm gonna say the name completely wrong.
Bud.
Quiffin. Yeah.
But
there's a hole in the south in one of the shrouds where it's literally a goblin encampment and the fate spawns right on top of you. So you just hear like, okay, sure.
Yeah, it was a funny patch when they added that the fisherman would spawn to aggro you so they could fish. Because you're still in a spot.
Yeah, but fortunately we don't have to deal with that. But in some cases we have had people on our sprout train specifically. People are like level 50, 55 fisher or something like that, and then we'd go to a level 60 zone. They can't fish, but they're going to stand around too. With sneak, any creature that's level 60 at that point could attack you. So we do actually sometimes have people who will come in and just wipe out nearby NP like monsters just to keep it safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had this problem particularly with the Endwalker zone, so we had to have two people specifically on clearing out fates, clearing out mobs, just making sure that there wasn't anyone attacking the fishers, because if a level 90 mob hits a fisher, they're just dead. So preferably a class that could raise as well.
Mm-hmm. Though if you're actually fishing, you're invulnerable, so you don't actually take damage. But if there's a thing, we know how it works. I don't want to explain it because it's kind of weird, but that's kind of just like the level of logistics that we have to put into it because it's gotten so big.
Mm-hmm.
Also, before we move on from some 11 talk, I will say please never add a quest like the Lu Shang from 11 to 14.
Oh, Fruity wants that.
Fruity wants that.
Fruity wants that.
You want to be forced to catch 10,000 moat carp.
We already have moat carp in the game.
What the fuck? That sounds like amazing fun.
Yeah, I have 15,000 Mora.
If anyone that wants to know, the fishing rods in 11 could break like completely. Like if you use them for too long, they would actually break. But what made this relic fishing rod so important was the fact that it was hard to break one. You could catch any fish in the game, and it wouldn't really break. And if it did break, you just took it back to the NPC and he'd repair it for you.
We need more quests like that. It's called a grind for a reason.
Well, you could also just buy the Mocarp. But still.
Yeah. We've gotten pretty close. Like they've started doing something like that with Gathering, not to pull this even farther off, but Dawn Trail did introduce orange Gatherer script mounts.
Yep.
So
I have been working on that kind of like it's been great.
So like I got the Runique on my main character. I haven't got the Barrel Tender because I do not want to go back to orange script grinding. But like they're starting to introduce stuff like that. So, anyways, back on topic.
Yes, back on topic.
Yeah, sure.
Which topic are we on?
I think we covered what inspired you and what challenges, and kind of in the same question, really. There.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to be asking questions.
We could move on to the next one. How can people get involved with this event?
Just pop into the Discord and say hi. I'd like to help out with Fishfest.
Yeah, you can find Eorzean Museum Network on Twitter and on Blue Sky. You can send us a message and we can give you details on how to get involved. Even if you're not particularly that deep into fishing, you don't have to be. We welcome people of all skill levels to help out. It's probably better as well if you're not so deep into fishing, so we know how this looks to the general population.
There's also a lot of value in like having just crafters.
I'll be the protection.
We have a good chunk of people who craft, but being able to say, "Hey, we need to make 1,000 of this craftable lure," and not having to subject 2 to 3 people to it, is always nice
it's great to say to someone, "Hey, can you make 500 of these?" And then we can reimburse you for it, and they come with like 1,000, and you're like, "Oh, you don't have to pay me for it. I just like doing it." And I'm like, "Okay."
Or
would you at least take some money? No. I had fun. I'm like, "Okay."
My personal favorite is we ask like, "Oh, I just need 500 of this lure," and then you get 500 mats worth, and then you get 3 per craft.
Oh, I do that all the time. I'm like, okay, I need 10 of these. And then I'm like, I'll craft them, and then I buy ingredients to craft 10, and then forget the fact that I just made 30.
Yeah, exactly.
So we always know, like, if Fishfest doesn't have a need, would be one surprising. But if Fishfest doesn't, the Eorzean Museum Network as a whole definitely would. We try our best to have enough resources on hand that if somebody comes and says, "Hey, I'm making a museum," we had one where someone was like, "Hey, I want to make a museum about like that shows all of the Allegan stuff, like all the Allegan furnishing. It's all about Alleg."
We need to do coils.
It's like, okay, cool, let's go do coils, and people would, start to figure out how to do coils to get those materials and all that type of stuff. So there's always something to do. If you're just looking for something a little bit different, just pop in and say hi.
Yeah,
I'd like to help.
Here you go. Here's my CV. I was 1 year. I was a bouncer. So here you go.
We do need actual people who can do security stuff. That's a thing that we've always looking for. If you can de-escalate situations, that's always a plus. Because sometimes we do get disruptive individuals, and then we just need someone to kind of like take them aside and say, and just kind of de-escalate things. Yeah, calm down. Yeah, no, or just explain what's going on, and then
give them the old British treatment. Get out the knife just in case, like.
That's what the Tonberry's for.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So if you want to, get involved with either Fishfest, you don't have to be a fisher. If you're just interested, you can find me or Kyrie on socials. You can find us in like the Fish Court. You can find us on the EMN Discord. You can find us on the EMN social media. And just be like, "Hi, I'd like to help out," and we will make sure that you get to where you need to be.
Get put to work.
We're coming into 2 weeks. coming to Fishfest, and there's still a lot to do, but also not as frantic.
I actually didn't.
Which is kind of nice.
When is Fishfest?
February 22nd. I think that was said at the beginning.
Okay,
it's February 22nd, so about 2 weeks from.
When is the start time exactly? I know that it's the 22nd, but do you have an hour at which it starts?
I do. I'm just going to actually.
I say sadly I will not be able to make this one because I will be in London for someone's birthday. So.
Hey, that's good. I mean, I know. Because that means I was going to ask him after the stream if I could. I was going to ask if I could stream the Fish Fest.
Hey, chat,
you absolutely can. We don't mind people streaming.
I meant Paul because it's normally that's a weekend, right? The 22nd.
Yeah, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, it's a
Paul
weekend.
Streams on the weekend. Paul streams on the weekends. I do not. So I would have had to steal the day from him. So
chat, can someone take that for me?
But also,
use that as evidence.
Would you say that people can stream the event?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We have no issue with it.
Yeah, we don't. I used to stream it officially, but I've gotten more because it is happening on my home ground. I am running around like a headless chicken, managing everything. So we're inviting anyone who wants to stream, who can stream. We will shout you out on our socials and make sure that we direct people to watch festivities if or when they can't be around.
Yeah, and so it's going to start. It'll start around 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is about 8 a.m. GMT 0, and I want to say that's 1500 AET. Kyrie, you're on that side. You're on that
4 p.m. EDT.
Okay, thank you. So that is all on the website too, which is eorzean.fish/fest.
Yeah, we have given the operating time zones essentially for each area that the Eorzean Aquarium's operating in. So that is all there. We've made special effort to make sure that whatever region you're in, you can actually see what time things are happening, and there is something happening at sort of like your peak time for your region. So there's always going to be like a boat in the time that you're most likely to be playing the game. There's going to be something happening, so it's not like we've front loaded everything to be at a specific time. No, it's all spread out.
And like the fish drain is literally just going to start at 3 a.m. and it's going to stop at 8 p.m. Or 7 p.m. I think.
Yeah. So again, we are always looking for people who can come in and just they can just stand there and help herd people around. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's herding because we're known as sheepdogs.
So I mean that's kind of the gist of Fishfest in the grand sense of things. It's really just.
I feel like if you're going to stream it, you have to have hashtag Fishfest 2025.
Yeah,
go make the hashtag. Go make the hashtag. Make it trending everywhere.
I think we've just been using hashtag
Fishfest. Yeah.
Because for 2 years in a row, I don't know if it's happening this year, but for 2 years in a row, an actual real world Fishfest was happening, which we have no relationship to whatsoever.
Okay, Fishfest 2025 FF. There we go.
Yeah, there's some fishing symposium or something that's going on in like Ottawa, Canada.
Nice.
I don't know why I automatically go to music when you say that. I'm thinking of looking.
Right.
No, not TH.
If you go to this Fishfest, you have to go to the actual Fishfest.
Opera house. Like they're fishing in an opera house, and there's like orchestrons in the background playing like epic music while everyone fishes for 12 hours.
Yeah, there's
like Distant Worlds, but with fishing.
It's always funny when I'm looking at the hashtags. It'll be like hashtag Fishfest, and it'll be like pictures of Final Fantasy 14 mixed in with like really serious scientists talking about fishing. They must be really confused. I've never actually reached out to the organizer of that event to apologize.
Nah, I don't need to. They're fishing.
But
I mean, they're probably not angry because even if you aren't showing stuff from their thing, it's still engagement for their hashtag. So overall, it's probably good for them.
Yeah.
They probably see it as a bonus.
And last year was wild because Soken retweeted one of the Fishfest things. So
I would be
that was-
surprised if some of the staff aren't actually at the event. You know,
I don't know if they're ever at the event. I haven't.
But they do
looked-
know the event exists, and they are aware of what we do as a whole.
Yeah,
Because
they
they
are.
have featured our venues several times on official 14 media, so they do know we exist, and so that's what we tell people. It's like, yeah, the devs kind of know that what we do, so please keep it all above board.
Yeah, mentioned on the stream. I think 2 of our events were mentioned on streams twice. We have to keep everything
PG.
I don't say have to. We keep everything above board. Everything, yeah, kind of PG, I guess would be the best way to put it. One, because we don't want to, like, that's just the environment we want to create.
Mhm.
But also 2, because we know that a lot of people are watching us, and we just want to make sure that we're
Hey, don't worry.
not angering anybody.
Yoshi P watches this podcast. Like he has to keep tabs on
sure.
his employee chili, so you know.
Look, just because I said the live letter should be tomorrow, and then after we publish that, they announced the live letter, doesn't mean that they.
Coincidence? I think not, Dawson.
Yoshi P was just waiting for Chili to be like, "Oh, okay, no, that's a good idea. We'll do that."
I'm like,
Literally.
I'm like on the podcast. I'm like, man, they need to release the live letter soon, because if they don't release it soon, then it's going to push back the patch announcement. And then literally after I said that, they then post it on the Lodestone that the live letter has got a date. And I'm sat here thinking, I haven't even published the podcast yet. Like, this was just a live stream. The podcast normally goes live on a Monday.
Yoshi P, we know
Thank
you're
you,
there.
sir, for completely invalidating everything I said during the podcast.
Well, no. Apparently, one of the devs actually listens to MGR.
Really?
Yeah, because you said so. Because you saw him when you went to your special thing.
It is you. I would not be surprised.
Yeah. I forgot one of the
PR
PR managers. One of the PR managers said the fact that they've had our podcast on in the background while they're working at the office.
That's fucking dangerous with how I
that's
speak.
not smart.
The community, the Square Enix, the Final Fantasy 14 community team is really nice. So hi guys, if you're listening, you guys are great.
We love you.
Work on fucking bunny hats.
Please.
You're fucking listening.
My head is cold. But
like my Lalafell has massive ears. My Lalafell can wear hats. So can anyone.
It's the thing is though, it's the hair. It's not the ear.
Head.
But anyways, yeah, no. So we try and keep everything family friendly and clean for that. So
yeah,
because we know that if they're there, we want them to have fun. We don't want to. We're not gonna like highlight them or anything.
We don't want to have an environment where it's beyond what the game itself offers. So we just try and stay within that, so they don't feel like they have to do something.
Yeah.
Well, you want to make it feel accessible. Well, no, you just want to make it feel accessible for people like me who are console players, because
absolutely
the game that is like, I know technically I have my laptop to look stuff up, so I have the benefits of that. But not everyone has that ability. They just have their console.
Now I'm taking a thing from Diablo. Don't you guys have phones?
That's what he said. The laptop.
Maybe their phone is charging.
But we do keep that in mind as well. Like we do keep, if you're a console player, we do keep that in mind.
We do have a lot of console players because, funnily enough, fishing is easier on the controller because you do get vibration controls.
Oh,
so
yeah, it vibrates once if it's a small catch. It vibrates twice as a heavy catch.
Pretty much, yeah. And that was one of the few reliable ways to figure that out before they added the markers in. So
Wobbsy,
there's a lot of people.
Shut up, Wobbsy.
Which was added in Shadowbringers.
Mm-hmm.
Like mid Shadowbringers, not even early.
5.3. I was there for that.
Me too.
Yeah, because I used to watch a lot before, but when I realized it back in the day, I used to just watch a lot of YouTube on the other screen while I fished on the other one, because I'm just like, oh yeah, twice it was like precision and what's the other one? The red and green.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, powerful and precision. And I always read this as what it used to be, but I don't know if I got lied to. But isn't it like not for every fish, but normally it's like if it's 2 or 3, it's powerful. If it's a single, it's precision.
If it's,
I know you
so
obviously.
here's the definitive answer to this.
I know what you were thinking because I
If
was
it
also
is
thinking.
a weak bite, which is the 1 exclamation point, that is always going to be precision hook set. If you're using patience, you don't ever. No fish
Yeah,
requires
easy
patience. No fish ever requires patience. You don't ever
No.
need it. But if you happen to, 1 exclamation point is precision hook set. Always. If you have a 2 exclamation point fish, which is a strong bite, that's going to be powerful hook set. If you have a 3 exclamation point bite, if it is a common tier fish, it is almost, I think it is always powerful hook set. There might be
Always
one
powerful.
yeah, I think it's always
Okay.
powerful. There's like one exception I'm thinking of, but I don't think that is. So yeah, it's always powerful. But if it's a big
That's what-
fish,
Okay.
then it's different. About a third of all
Okay.
big fish are
Big fish, little fish,
precision hook
cardboard
set,
box.
but are ferocious bites.
Yeah.
Like
That's interesting.
Cinder Surprise, Aelid Scon, Furcata,
Sea butterfly.
Sea Butterfly, Charbonnet, Opabinia.
Butterfly.
So these are like fish that are size-wise in sort of perception, in like how they're perceived, like quite small, because these are like sea angels, Furcata, which is an actual type of fish.
Opabinia, which is an Opabinia.
Yeah.
They're physically small fish.
Yeah,
So,
physically
like,
very
small
small
and
fish.
Small and ilms, and that's how you actually determine which hook set you're going to end up using, is based on the size of the fish itself physically.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for clearing that up. Like, that's what I've always did in the past. Like as I said, I know it's not for every fish, but that's how I would standardize it.
No, it's a good marker for kind of wading your way through fishing. It's a good thing to sort of, you have an idea already, but we're just kind of clarifying what's actually going on there.
Which is nice.
after lots of testing. So
yeah, as I said, this was years ago when I heard this, and obviously there's been a lot more advances in fish tech since then.
Not the fish
There's
tech.
still there is developing. I can say with confidence there is more fish tech being developed. There are a handful of us who are doing some
math
and some very wild
Science!
things. Some very wild
science.
things with.
we
with
do actually
good
do a
fish.
lot of fish science. Yes.
It's a ton of fun.
Like a lot
Like a lot
of people ask how we do this, and we just say there is a method, there is a science, there's like, we have a whole methodology in how to do this.
Like, how do you know
Why
all
do I
this?
want like someone to be sat there with like a monocle, but the monocle itself is shaped like a fish?
Has to be shaped of a puffer fish.
I'm gonna borrow that idea. But yeah, no, that is a whole other conversation of how.
That's all.
how
Yeah.
Welcome to
Let's not go
the
into
Science Fish Corner.
Let's not go into that because we will be here for another hour.
Did you want
Yeah,
to
we
learn
could
about
talk
fish?
about that for another hour easily.
Before we move on, I'm somewhat of a scalist myself. Anyone else?
But yeah, the long and the short of it is any data that you see about fish, either on my guides or on anything outside of the game, is all
team of
community
scientists.
discovered. None of it is data mined because none of it exists in the game files. We have to figure it out all ourselves, which is what makes fishing fun. And we'll talk about that probably during the fish train at Fishfest if you want to join.
Yes.
Well, we have a lore section where we learn about all the fish of Stormblood.
I would absolutely do a fish lore.
I love doing fish. We've both done like panels on fish lore before, and it's been real fun because we there's actually a lot that you learn about the lore of the game through the fishing log, and that stuff that only exists in the fishing log. So
yeah, I think I was talking to a couple of friends who were like way into lore, and they're like, we're trying to figure out this story, and I'm like, it's like one of the most common fisher stories. It was Navigator's Brand.
yes,
It was the Lemlian fight when if you blow a kiss or try and hug, I think.
Yep, kiss or hug.
If you kiss or hug a Lemlian during the fight, when she's not doing an attack, she will throw a dagger at you and say, "Oi, cut it out, you." You can find this online. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, don't worry.
it happening.
I think Chili's done it a few times on stream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We figured, I don't want to say we because I think it was one of the Japanese players that figured it out. And I don't know their methodology, but
They thought
we're
Big
not
Lady was
surprised.
very cute and decided to blow a kiss.
Well, see, that's
Yeah.
the story. That's actually exactly what happened, except Oskin did it, and she threw a dagger at her, which is what the name of a fish ended up being, which was Navigator's Dagger.
Yeah.
And
Navigator's
so,
brand.
Navigator's brand, too. I mean, there's two. One's
Yeah.
on the big. But
I know
basically,
Navigator's Dagger
if
because I
you,
fished a couple of them up.
if you do that in the fight and you look at the name of the attack, it is Navigator's Dagger. Or brand, one of the two, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But
Navigator's brand.
that is the name of a fish that you catch. And
It
the lore
dates,
of the
the
fish
story
explained,
dates back to ARR, and 10 years later, it's come up again.
yeah, that was like very much. I think they even called it out as like, for those of you who are way into the lore, we added that in the treat. And
Yeah,
we're like,
yeah.
that was for the fishers.
That was for the
knew that.
fishers. The
Fishers knew that.
Because the fish navigator's brand is actually linked to one of the level 50 like optional
Side
fish
quests.
quests that you can do. So
The only optional fish quest you can do.
there's 2 of them technically.
Yeah.
No, two
So-
of them. Sorry, I went to Star Wars. Wrong franchise.
There is. It was getting out of hand.
I mean, those characters kind of did look a bit fishy, so you know.
Not wrong.
I'm still tang on
Oh,
topic
wait.
at this point.
Talk about lore quickly. I saw this on Twitter. I think it was earlier today or yesterday. This is not fish related, but I saw when there's those fantasy lore tweets come out, and man, it was one of the saddest lores I've. Those basket enemies in Ilmeg.
Mm-hmm.
Domovoy. Is this
It's
about Domovoy?
Yeah, the
Yes.
fact that he was made by a fairy and now he is he's just walking around trying to find his master after they've died.
So fish
But they
lore in
don't know that.
Ilmeg's really terrifying.
Oh,
Because half of them are like that.
yeah, that's one of them is literally a book.
Yeah. Someone's book fell into a pond, and the fairies were like, you know what? That would be great as a fish.
And
I
the
mean,
sunken
yeah.
tome was born. It's a great aquarium.
It always
fish
reminds
show.
me of the frogs in I'm going back to 11 again, I'm sorry. Perugos in 14, the
Mhm.
frog, the
Yep.
cast. In 11, they existed as well.
Ah.
But lore-wise for that, if I'm right, it was a short story. Basically, a Taru, which is the 11 equivalent of a Lalafell, felt bad that they saw this frog constantly being stepped on. They're like, I kind of feel bad that these frogs are being stepped on by taller people. Because they felt the same way because they kept getting stepped on. So she broke into the wizard school and cast some forbidden magic to give the frogs the knowledge and sentience. So she casted a spell to give them all sentience so that they could know what's happened to them to avoid defeat. Right? They then turn around and then declare war on the people that.
That sounds like it. When you give fish power, they kind of just turn around and give war at that point.
Yeah, they turned around because they had she gave them all the knowledge that they had, like these forbidden spells. So the frogs then turned around and declared war on the city.
Oh, foul.
I'm like,
Fair enough, I guess.
I feel like
You know what? Fuck
I
these
feel
feet
bad that you've been
bastards.
stepped on.
We shall wage
I feel
war.
bad you've been stepped on. I'm gonna kill you all now. Oh, okay.
The Great Frog War of 97.
You
Magic
joke, but a lot of the
missile
sea got
flies.
blown up because she taught them stuff like flare and meteor. So-
Exactly. There we go. Frogs win.
So yeah. Anyway, sorry.
It's just a small war. Fine. It's like, it's like when I think it was like Australia lost to like emus or some shit like that. That is
Yeah,
basically
the Great
what
Emu
happened there.
War.
Yeah,
The Great Emu War, yeah.
That's literally, it's like, you know what? That's just the FF equivalent. There you go. But instead, they actually had spells and fireballs and stuff like that. Emus are just hecky.
Yeah, she was a princess, if I'm right. She was a princess and she felt bad. So
I mean, every princess needs to find their Prince Charming frog.
But
It's a shame
not
this one
like-
decided to wage
anyway, we'll move on. Sorry, it's just us talking about lore and stuff.
Not yet.
My
Not
brain went to it.
that is another hour-long conversation that you can
Mhm.
have. Like, I think once I was talking with somebody and they're like, how long can you talk about fishing? I'm like, how much time do you have?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like me turning around, so do you guys know about the Horus Heresy? And then we're just going to be sitting here for about 2 days just talking about it.
So there's a lot, and I think like the game just offers so much that's why I think that we'll really enjoy it. And that's why we do Fishfest, and why a lot of people fish is because there's so much you can do that's just weird.
I mean, I love fishing in like every game I play. There's like some sort of there is fishing involved. I will probably do it, or like any sort of gathering. I find gathering so soothing and just therapeutic. I can just sit there and just gather away and just do whatever the hell I'm doing. Like,
Yeah.
I wish there was fishing in like Dragon Age, because I would have sit there and just fished for ages.
That's kind of like what we try and do with Fishfest, is to make sure that it's relaxing, even though there's potentially 100 people there. It's just something that you and your friends can come and do, and come for a little bit and leave if you want.
Yeah.
This year at least. And it's, just fun and relaxing, even though it is a little stressful on my end as the guy in charge. It's always been a fun time. So
it's not just you, by the way. It's the entire team as well. Like, we have to coordinate with so many people, and then we've got to make sure all the bits are in place. But yeah,
and
yeah,
we're working between 3 different regions across however many time zones this is, and because like literally, like physically, Kyrie is on the opposite end of the world from me. Our EU guys are in the middle,
in between us somewhere. Yeah.
So if we're working on something, I'll be like, "Hey, Kyrie, can you do this?" And then you'll be like, "Yeah, I can do that." And then you'll just tell Corey and Ennis, who are our leads for EU, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, no." And then Kyrie will pass it on to them, and by the time I wake up, everything's done. But no, it is a really big group effort to get this done. It's no small feat to be able to pull this off, on top of also supporting the best we can 4 languages. So we also, not only do we support English, but some of our events will also support French, German, and Brazilian Portuguese.
What about Japanese? What about Gaelic?
We don't have Japanese. We don't have Gaelic. If someone wants to, but Japanese is...
It's a little bit of a strange situation, because I personally deal with a lot of Japanese guests, but I can, like, because MMO speak is a whole different other ballgame. I'm actually not very proficient in MMO speak in Japanese, so it's like,
the only word I know in Japanese is W means lol.
Yeah, it's like when you talk about MMOs in English, it's a whole different vocabulary. And so it's the same in Japanese. So I don't actually, like, I know a lot of like formal and conversational Japanese. I actually don't know MMO speak. So so that's kind of like my blind side.
Yeah, I would love to be able to support Japanese. I would love.
But we need someone who does play in Japanese and knows the MMO speak.
Yeah, and that's why we don't have an Eorzean aquarium on the Japanese servers. But they have a bunch of other really good aquariums too that everyone should totally go check out.
I'm sorry for butchering this, but konbanwa chili desu.
Konbanwa chili desu.
I don't know what that means, because I...
Hello, my name is Chili.
Or good evening, depending.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening.
So yeah, so Japanese maybe next year, but at the moment it really is just...
Yeah.
It
needs to be someone other than me, basically.
Yeah, we do
and not me.
What we do is we try and make sure that it's the one rule that I have when we were branching out into the other regions was that it is ran and managed by people from that region. So I do not deal with the European side of things. Kyrie is the one who handles all the Oceania stuff. I just focus on North America because I'm North American. Kyrie is from Oceania. It makes way more sense.
Can you say Oceania again? It's really cute.
Oceania?
It's really cute how you say it. I'm sorry.
Oceania.
Oceania. No, you said it right.
Okay, good. Oh, phew.
No, sorry, it's just how you say it.
It took me forever to say furcakata correctly this morning. So that's just kind of one of the rules, though, that we have, is that we don't branch out into a region unless somebody from that region who is living in that region and like knows the region well can actually manage and run it. So that's why we haven't branched out into Japan, because I don't want to be the guy from North America who just makes an aquarium on the Japanese servers just to say they did. I'd rather do something where an actual Japanese player comes in and says, "Hey, can you help me do this?" I'll be like, "Yes, I will help you achieve your vision."
Cool. So next question, Chili.
Yeah.
You got this. I believe in you.
What question? You're talking about on the document.
Yes.
I think we've talked about the weird part is we've kind of merged a lot of the questions into other questions. So although we've got so many questions, I feel like we've talked about some of this already, even though we haven't talked about it technically. I would love to ask you about how I'm going to merge these two. Is there anything you can help new players at the event, and also what would you expect for good feature for veteran fishers as well?
For new players, okay. So I think
better quests.
Yeah. do your job quest. That's the most important one.
Yeah,
there's a lot of quests. And get a supply of high cordials. That's the other big one.
So do quest and ask your local drug dealer. Okay, these are some important ones.
It's just kombucha, but
it's just kombucha, yeah.
But yeah, I think like if you're
new
to
person?
fishing, high cordials. They actually, I think it's
a script.
Is it high cordial or is it?
High cordials
describes it.
High cordials are a slightly fermented drink. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, so basically it's kombucha.
It is kombucha.
So be alcoholic. Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Not drugs, alcohol.
But the main thing would be mostly also understand that if you plan to go finish the fishing log, it is not something you do in a week. It's probably not something you will do in 2 weeks. It may take you a few months. So it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
But
you think you could finish that? No, it will finish you.
I think the world record for fastest time to big fish, which is all big and legendary.
Was it like 3 months or something? I'm pretty sure.
No, it was 11 days. I think it was 11 days.
Right, Chili, you can beat that. I believe in you, Chili.
Maybe that was Grandmaster Caster. I can't remember exactly, but the record that we usually cite is 11 days for.
You're saying I have to make a new character.
Yep.
And level up Fisher just so I can try and beat that in fishing, because
we did a version of this during the cloud servers. I don't know if you remember that, but we had several people reach Master Caster, Grandmaster Caster during the time that those cloud servers were up. So
we didn't have anyone reach Grandmaster Caster because Aelid Scan was up like 30 minutes after the start of the cloud server.
Right, Chili, you got a new mission.
And Thousand Fin wasn't up at all.
It must be all on stream.
Mm-hmm. But if it was entirely possible that someone would have had big fish that first.
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box.
So that's totally doable, but do not expect to do that at all. A lot of these fish are the amount of time it takes to get them is measured in days of playtime, not just like days of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cinder Surprise is still on a 14-day vacation.
Duskfish was on a
Isn't 11-day. It take months to come back.
No,
no.
Another tangent.
Yeah.
The one fish that gets cited on that is Bobogoblin Bass, and it has the first and second record of longest downtime ever, which was
33 days.
30. Oh, it was longer than 30. I was just talking to
someone. I mean, I'm having close. 33 days is still not been months, but it's still a month.
No. 33 days is currently third. No, as of right now, the record is Bobogoblin Bass with a 39-day downtime back in 2017. 37 days was number 2, and that's Bobogoblin Bass again. That was set last year in the spring. Ruby Dragon was down for 31 days at the end of 2020. I remember that was like the Christmas that everyone hated.
Mm-hmm.
And because it came back 2 days after Christmas.
I remember that.
Fourth was Duskfish at another 31 days, and then Cinder Surprise that was down for 27 days in 2022. However, the Bobogoblin Bass this year will go down for a 36 day downtime, which will put it in third and take the podium sweep. There was a chance, though, that in Endwalker we could have gotten a fish that had upwards of 100-day downtime.
Oh yes, I remember this. But that's wildly off tangent at this point.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. See, I know it's wildly off, but that's probably what the fish I was thinking of. If I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah, there is no fish that was
probably...
in the. I think it was like the specific one that was cited was Thunder,
Garlemald.
Thunder, and Garlemald.
Garlemald, yeah,
is like the rarest combo. It was like at this one specific time,
yeah,
at 120-day downtime. I wish, but no, I wouldn't be. That genuinely would not be fair to the player. I wouldn't. As much as I would love to see that, not fair for the player at all.
Yeah, Morgana, 100-day downtime was, but it didn't happen. I don't think, but it was possible.
How do you
track
this shit though?
So fish, just like
our friends,
they have weather and time. So they take account to the transition between weather. So the previous and the next weather matter, and so you can work out with some level of accuracy because the weather in this game is all preset. How the more weathers a zone has, the longer it takes to cycle through them, and then combine that with the fact that you want a certain transition, which in this case is thunder to thunder for two relatively rare weather states in Garlemald, and then there's a sliver of time in which it'll happen once every 100 days. So you can kind of theory craft that out, but realistically, it will never happen.
Is this 100 days in game or 100 days in real life?
In real life.
Real life.
Oh,
real life.
This game is.
I mean, it was. Yay, we're doing more tangents here, but oh right, Kiku Flare is the weather tracker that you want to use.
But yeah, it's just a so when there's no fish to catch, like at the minute, because the big fish is only added in the patches, we do some maths and some science just to pass the time, especially if you've caught all the fish already.
Not me going to 100 sea butterfly intuitions. Yeah, I'm looking at the transition that we were talking about, which was thunder to thunder. This is an extreme example. The next time it is available at any time of the day, Eorzea time, is Tuesday, February 11th. The next time after that, at any time, is February 16th, and then the 23rd, and then March 6th, my birthday, March 19th. And it's like once a week it gets it. But if you add in the specific time, narrow it down, then you start looking at like 2-3 weeks of downtime per window. Actually, this one, I'm looking at that one right now. There's February 11th, if you're looking at like 8 to 16. So 8 to 8, or 8 to 4.
8 to 4.
Yeah, 8 to 4 p.m. It's February 11th, and then February 23rd, then March 19th, then March 25th, and then 3 months later, on June 27th is the next instance of it. And then August, and then September, and then October, and then nothing for the rest of the year. It in the year of our Lord 2025, it shows up less than 10 times, which is not very fair to the player. So that's why you won't see it that specific, because it's just too rare.
Yeah, this is just for us, having some fun with numbers.
It also is like how we know that the longest downtime of any fish is going to be Cinder Surprise with a 45-day downtime in the year of our Lord 2152.
If the game servers are still up.
Yeah. Game would be 140 years old at that point.
Something like that.
So 2152, be prepared for a very long downtime for Cinder Surprise. Try and get it before that. These are just the random things that we do as fishers that we know, and also the random things that you will learn at Fishfest.
Yeah, we kind of
8 a.m. GMT.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I mean, it's like we try and fill in the space. Like, it's not like you just sit there and do it and then, you have to be in silence the entire time. Now, there's a fair bit of banter that goes on, and then everyone's always happy to chat, especially since, you're just kind of waiting in between. Like, there's a lot of lead up, so because we give people enough time to, like, get ready, sit at a hole, find a spot. and then wait for the window to come up. So there's a lot of time to chat, which is why it's quite relaxing. So on the day itself is actually quite relaxing, but the lead up to it is kind of frantic.
But yeah, no, we basically front load all of the stress onto us, so you don't have to. But that's it. That's Fishfest.
But yeah, that's
And
Fishfest.
more-
Yeah.
and more information than you need to know about fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
What
Trust me,
question were
Moogle
we
Ground
even
is
on?
all about going off topic. Trust me, we the fact that we've got any topics here that the fact that we covered any of the topics that I brought up, it's a miracle for us. Our whole thing is we want people to come here, relax, and enjoy themselves and have a chat. Of course, we want to promote what's happening, but like I'd rather it's not. We're not a Q&A. We want you to we want it to feel natural. If you understand what I mean. Like if tangents are a thing that happened, I don't want you to just be quiet because So thank you. It's been fun. I've learned a lot and I've enjoyed it. It's been a good. I'm really excited for Fishfest. So thank you for both of you for joining us.
Yeah, we look forward to having you there.
I will try and stream the entire time as well.
A whole
Please don't.
16 hours. Yes. 16 hours stream. Let's go.
It's a lot.
Let's go. If Chile doesn't do
I
it,
will try and stream during my Fishfest. I will try and stream the whole 16 hours.
clip
Give or take
this. I need this clipped.
It will take a little bit because I will need to cook food. So
No. He will keep streaming whilst cooking food, and it has to be fish related.
yeah, I'll still like stream while cooking food, but I might not be.
Just order some fish and
Like,
chips.
I might end up going bitter back. No,
That's actually a really good idea.
See, he's ordered some fish and chips. Job done.
I don't even think they're even open on that.
Last year I had a snackle box. a snackle box, which is like I found like one of them boxes at IKEA, and then I put like cheese and cold cuts and snacks and biscuits into it. Just snack. Yeah.
Okay, no, they're open Saturdays. They close Sunday and Monday.
There you go. It's Saturday, you're fine. So there you go. Fish and chips.
They're open until 7 p.m. Paul.
There you go.
From 5 p.m. till 7 p.m.
Yeah, just
There you go. That's your dinner time right there. There you go.
Yeah.
That's your dinner in those between time slot. That
Yeah,
is your
but
dinner.
you know how frustrating my flat is. It's going to take more effort for me to get delivery than it is actually to just put in the air fryer.
Then go get some fish and chips and put in the air fryer. I had that the other day. It was great.
You're now making me want to get some fish and chips.
You're welcome. And then for lunch you get
Just make
sushi.
sure-
Job done. That's more
Just make
fish.
sure- I've never eaten sushi in my life,
I
Paul.
fucking love sushi. But I think you have to be careful because some of it does contain, I think, some nuts.
Don't get the ones from Tesco. Just don't.
Oh, fuck one from Tesco's. If you ever wanted to clear
I
yourself
am
out,
a
then get the one from
Sainsbury's
Tesco's.
boy. Kyle,
I'm a Sainsbury's boy.
I only shop at Sainsbury's.
I am posh.
Don't get the sushi from Sainsbury's either.
Okay.
What I'm hearing is just don't get sushi
I don't think there's
anywhere on the
anywhere.
island.
I don't think there's.
No, don't get
Anywhere
sushi
really-
from supermarkets, basically in the UK.
No.
Okay.
I
Just
get
don't.
mine-
Well, I
don't
I
think
get
I
mine
have-
from an
I
actual
don't
sushi
think I have
shop,
a
so.
Like, I don't like. I live near the sea, but I don't think we even. Do we even? I don't even know. I don't think we even have a sushi. Like, I googled sushi shop in my town, and the only thing that popped up was the Market Hall Fish Sales, which is not a sushi shop. That's just a market hall, and a clothing store.
Technically, a market hall selling raw fish would be where you would get sushi. You just have to cook it. You just have to prepare it yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've got a choice of preparing it myself or cloves.
Hey, that'd be a good stream right there.
No, it wouldn't.
Making sushi whilst fishing at Fishfest. Oh my god. 2 different screens.
No.
Job done, that right there.
No, I'm good. So,
And you know what?
as we wrap this,
And you have smoked salmon with some avocado for breakfast. You have to have a whole
Now-
for Fish Fest Day. You gotta have a whole fish lineup.
Oh,
See, that also sounds good.
that sounds very good. I love me a good
I
avocado
need
toast.
talent says I need some chips, fish.
I'm hungry.
Now,
I'm gonna eat some food after this.
as we wrap this podcast up,
Same,
I
I'm
just got
hungry.
one question that I forgot to write in here as we start wrapping this up today. Now, I don't know about either of you. Am I the only one that's really frustrated that fishing equipment is lower level than everything else because of that damn spear?
No.
Can we
Okay,
please
no. I have
get another spear?
attempted to get into whenever Yoshi P streams in the Japanese servers, I have attempted to get into every Q&A he's ever done, and I have not succeeded yet. To talk specifically about this spear. So it's been a quest since about 2002.
And my take on it is, if the only reason is to have a higher eye level, I'm like, I need a better reason to get, like, if you give us more stats, because the current spear gives you, like, how much does it give you?
35 GP.
35 extra GP. If it gave me more GP, 100% would be all over it. But if it's just because we need more stats, no.
I
no.
want a glamour to turn it into a trident, and it to be
Understandable.
as well.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I also
Yeah,
want
why can't we
stools.
get glamours for it? At least that. It just frustrates me when I look at my job list and like if I'm tired and I'm playing at night, and I'll look at my job list and I'm like, that's this level, this level, this level, and I look at Fisher and Fisher's like a few eye levels lower than everything else, and I quickly switch to Fisher because I think I've not equipped gear. I'm like, oh god, have I forgot to update my fishing equipment? And then remembered, no, it's because of the damn spear.
Yeah, no, it is a bit like that. So fish will just naturally have a lower eye level than the other.
Is it really a spear?
classes.
I think it's more classed as a harpoon.
It's a harpoon,
It is
effectively.
It's
a harpoon.
It's a jig. Spearfishing jig.
Geek.
I like the
Big
spearfishing
thing.
mini game. I
Soft
think they
shell.
should do more with it.
I don't think I've ever actually done it.
What, spearfish?
Spearfish?
Not since they added the mini game.
Oh, it's great.
It's great. They improved it during Endwalker, and I think it's the best it's ever been. So
Naturally, during Endwalker, did nothing else with it. But
they had an idea and then they didn't go for it, which
Sounds like
is a
most of their
shame.
fucking ideas. I'm not going to lie. We have an idea, but we're not going to follow through.
The long and the short of it is, Endwalker fishing was mildly disappointing. Dawn Trail
For a lot of us.
amazing, but
Mhm.
they added some stuff with like spearfishing, and we think there's a lot of potential there. But we also understand that fishing is niche.
And there's
I'm not gonna-
one fish dev, as far as we can tell.
It's all under the non-combat team, but
Combat,
there's
yeah.
like one specific person who does just
For just
fishing.
fish, yeah.
Which
Don't worry,
the
that's still
rumor
more than
is-
the Chocobo Racing team.
It is more. It is definitely more than the Chocobo Racing team.
Yes.
I think that's where I was getting my
that
chili crabs from, I think.
the rumor is that Fish Dev, who the fishing community has lovingly called whoever develops fishing, is an actual fisher in real life. Like, there's no way anyone but an actual fisher could come up with this system.
True.
And the rumor was that they took Soken, the composer, out into the Sea of Japan and took them fishing for deep sea fishing, like years ago. That's
Not gonna
kinda
lie,
the myth.
I would watch that live stream. If it,
It'd just be a ton of fun, yeah.
like him and the Soken just off on a boat, just sitting there fishing. That would get so many views. I'm not gonna lie, that would be really
fun.
good to watch.
So that was the rumor, but you never actually know if they got confirmed.
Don't worry, we'll try and confirm it. Chili's got his ways.
But yeah, that's Fishfest and all of the stuff that you didn't want to know about fishing.
Yeah.
No, it's very enlightening.
Join us on February 22nd for
In
Fishfest.
materia on
I'm
the
hungry.
Sophia server.
Very upset that I can't. Okay, I have to rub it in, but keep promoting it. Come on. I think we've lost Chili because Chili's really scared of fish. So he's like,
Only in real life I
disappeared.
can handle them in this game because I don't have to see them.
I have a friend who
It's the eyes. Something about the eyes creep me
I have
out.
a friend who I've sent pictures to of like different fish, and he just was like, "Fruity, I'm happy for you,
The eyes.
but I do not
The
like
eyes
pictures
of a fish freak me out.
They're kind of fun."
I'm surprised he's still your friend at that point. He's like, please stop sending me fish.
But
Well, thank you both for joining us.
You're very
Thank you for having us.
welcome.
I have another question.
Yeah.
What is your favorite
Okay.
fish meal?
fish meal,
Fish meal.
Yeah, fish meal.
the one that I can
Not the
use as
bait.
bait.
I mean, in like real life.
Oh, like to eat.
Yes, to eat.
Yeah.
Probably like grilled salmon.
Yes.
I actually don't eat a ton of fish.
I like sushi. I like a good bit of fresh fish on rice. I've been into poke bowls a lot recently. Those are quite nice. Fish, rice, bit of sauce.
I'm all about squid. Squid balls. Oh, I love squid.
Calamari is great. I like me a good prepared calamari.
Chili, what's your favorite fish food?
I don't think I've really tried any. So
It's okay. That's okay, Chili. You and me can go sit with the not fish food.
even though I live near the fish,
I live
near
near
the
the fish.
I live near the fish, and the fish live near me.
I think that's why I don't have any that much interest in eating it, because I'm like
It's just
everywhere
there,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, fish are friends, not food. Yes, well done, Chili. You are the shark from Finding Nemo. You're Bruce.
Yeah, my nan is from like down by the coast, and she feels the exact same way. It's like I see the fish every day. I don't want to eat it.
I see the fish every day, and my belly starts growling. So then I go grab a crab. I also tried jelly eels for the first time the other day. It was so good.
Oh, they're quite tasty,
They're
but
quite
the
chewy as
texture
well.
it takes me a bit to get through the texture. That's the only thing.
It's incredibly chewy. It's like giving my jaw a workout.
Oh, absolutely. And it's just like, okay, what am I eating now? You just kind of forget it's in your mouth.
That's what she said. And on that note, thank you. Do you want? And you've got any socials that you can plug before we end?
Wow, didn't even talk about the Valentine's Day event, the glamour competition.
It's fine. We
They
can talk about them
exist.
next time.
We didn't even talk about WoW firing shots at Final Fantasy 14. Like, well, that's a hot topic.
Trust me, we've got plenty of time to talk about that. But yeah,
But hot topic. Does Final Fantasy suck in the housing market?
no, we got plenty of time, and I'm sure there's plenty of people that made content on that. I would rather focus on talking about the fish.
We have.
We
For 129
you can
minutes.
find me on socials. I'm on Twitter, barely, at Fisher Fruity, and I'm also at Fisher Fruity on Blue Sky as well, and Fruitysnacks on YouTube, and hanging around the fish court a lot.
Yeah,
Around
so
the
you
fish
can
court.
find me on Twitter and on Blue Sky. I'm Kyrie Overdrive on Twitter and KyrieOverdrive.moe on Blue Sky. I'm also hanging around Fishcord, though not as much. I'm more active in the EMN Discord, so you will find me there. Probably shit posting.
We do that a lot.
We do that a lot.
Good old fish posting.
Like I discovered
also
there's a
stream,
Roomba
don't
in
you,
Solution
Kiri?
9.
Right?
I do. Like I'm live on Twitch mostly in the mornings, GMT. So if you need someone to watch in your mornings, I'm around usually Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Just realised mute that. And also you can catch you can actually catch your content on YouTube as well. Let me give you some.
Yes. Yeah, I released a cover of the song about Asakaman Baspis, and then Fruity has a cameo in it, and it just goes round every now and again. So
well, thank you both for joining us.
Yeah.
Please go check out all their wonderful content. They're both wonderful people, and it's been fun chatting about fishing. In 2 weeks' time, we'll be back, and we'll probably be talking about the live letter. I know we want to focus on community stuff, but obviously with the live letter going live tomorrow, we're just going to spend the entire next podcast talking about the content that we hope excites us in the live letter. So until next time, thank you everyone.
Or it angers us, and you'll hear me swear and curse the name Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. But also,
I
don't, just a heads up in the future, I don't know how the audio is because I'm going to have to download this from Twitch. So we'll see how the audio is for this podcast, Nick. So until next time, thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys. Bye.